Operation status quo. Operation status quo. Prepare to engage. Operation status quo. Ready to engage. Operation status quo. Engaged. Engaged. Hello and welcome, ladies and gentlemen, on a Monday, a happy Monday. Every Monday's a happy Monday. Every day's a happy day right here on Operation Status Quo. And so glad to have you with me. If you were out there just momentarily ago, I've explained this before, that this happens to me from time to time for whatever reason. My computer just freezes up, and that's that, So we got to start over again, and that's what we do here because, I can't let it go, Like if I'm trying to do a show and the computer messes me up, I mean, what am I going to do? Give up on it completely? If it happens 6-7 times in a row, maybe I would. But anyway, it is what it is. What can you do, ladies and gentlemen? That's what you're dealing with when you're dealing with technology and you're trying to go live and all that type of thing. You never know what you're going to get. So we just spin the wheel and we give it a shot each and every time. And, we're here. That's the important part. You're there. I'm here. And we're together. And hello and welcome. I am Pete Palma. And this, of course, is Operation Status Quo once again on a happy Monday as we move through the year ever so quickly. I was just saying it seemed like last week I remember coming on saying it was Monday, and here we are again on a Monday. I guess maybe tomorrow I'll remember coming on a Tuesday and saying it was Tuesday. I mean, it seems to happen that way, right? All right. Anyway, so here we are, and what was I going to say? Oh, thank you for being here, by the way. Did I say it on Pete Palma? I think I did. But anyway, this is Operation Status Quo. If you're new here, hello and welcome, and thank you for taking the time to tune in and check things out. This is where we observe the status quo of life. We learn to flow with the status quo of life. And then, of course, we create our own flow of quo, because that's the only way to go. So, again, if you're new, it's really just a simple mindset here, ladies and gentlemen. It's just a matter of keeping our eye on what's going on in the world, being aware, being, critical thinkers, being observant, not putting too much attachment on any one idea, any one way of doing things, any one way of being. It's everyone's choice to believe and do whatever works right for them in this world. But the truth is, and that's why we talk about the things that we talk about here on Operation Status Quo, is that the powers that be for a long time have kept us in a state of what I like to say socioeconomic slavery, as well as oppression of our our spirit and our humanity. Just a few light things. Just a few light things they do. The powers that be out there trying to keep people suppressed from being their best selves. But here on this show, it's really just about having a space where we can just kind of look at things and not get too attached and not get crazy and just understand what's going on. And then we can, flow with what's going on and create our own way. And we have to, and when I say create our own flow of quo, it's basically a reminder or, some sort of, I would say, just a idea. I don't know what I'm saying, but it's a catalyst almost to remind people to go inside and just do what feels right for your heart. Don't worry about what people around you are saying. Don't worry about what the television is saying. We have so many factors right now going on in the world that are challenging us. From finances to education to our medical, the pharmaceutical companies, the governments, the politicians, everything, so on and so forth. But anyway, that's why we're here. We're here to just say we see what's going on, and we don't have to get too crazy. And we always have to remember that this life is basically, a show in a sense, not a show like, just like Nothing Matters, but, it's a projection of energies to, teach lessons. So there's bigger forces at play. There's, bigger lessons to learn than just like the little day-to-day life that we, kind of just waddle through trying to, make ends meet and just think this is what our life is all about. It's a lot deeper than that, right? So, but that's what we do here. And of course, you as the audience, I appreciate your time, and you're always welcome here. Any ideas that you have that you'd like me to share, my contact information is in the description box below. You're also welcome to be a guest if you ever would like to do that. All you have to do is contact me. And once again, my information is in the description box below. So today is the 31st of July in the good year 2023, as we finish off another month here in 2023, rapidly approaching the end of summer and fall, and we'll see how this year plays out. But today, ladies and gentlemen, the title of the program is entitled Fat in Philly. That's right. For those of you who may not know, I'm originally from the Philadelphia area, and I was actually speaking with my mother last night, and she was telling me about at Temple University there in Philadelphia, they are going to be holding the first FatCon, it's called, just like the comic book con, like the Comic Con, like a convention for the comic books. They have now a convention for people that are obese, overweight, pleasantly plump, or whatever word you like to use to describe that type of body, that kind of body style. You know what's funny about the conferences like that, though, like even Comic Con and all? Like I know some people that were really into the Comic Con, and they would go, and some of the old wrestlers would be there too. And anyway, you get to, I guess, sell your little Star Wars figures, or check out some old Matchbox cars and comic books and stuff on top of it. So it's all that kind of stuff, which is I can understand that being enjoyable. But I was never into those type of conventions personally. I just always thought all that kind of stuff was a little. I mean, I guess it would be fun, right? But when I was younger, though, I did go to a Star Trek convention, believe it or not, with a couple friends of mine that were really into Star Trek, and I got to meet Jonathan Frakes and I forgot the woman who played the psychic, on Next Generation. It was Jonathan Frakes was number one under Picard, and then Deanna Troy, or whatever her real name is, but she played Troy on Next Generation. So I got to meet both of them and hear them speak, and that was pretty cool to actually do something like that. And everybody's walking around with their Star Trek costumes and such on. But hey, whatever you like. I mean, that, again, what I just say, this is a place of we don't judge, we don't attach. It's everybody's living out their path, and it's great for everybody. But here I'm going to read this article to you, basically, ladies and gentlemen, from Phat in Philly is what we're doing today, because they're holding this conference over there in Philadelphia, this FatCon for overweight people, because they just want to be able to be themselves. First and foremost, before I, poke and prod and make a few jokes, I do want it to be known that, this is not meant to be insulting. I get it. Some people are overweight or whatever. It's not like it is what it is. So, but the only thing that I, say as a caveat to that is like just the way our world has become, like, the weakness of our society and the programming of our mainstream media and such, to even normalize something like this to a point where you want to have a convention, where fat people can gather and feel comfortable to speak with each other and just share how they all like being fat, and it's okay. I don't personally understand why, as a society, we want to create scenarios to celebrate people who don't want to take the time to care for themselves in some sort of capacity. But I mean, it is what it is. So that's just me saying. But this is what's going on at Temple University coming up in October. So if you're heavy set and you'd like to go to this in October, you can sign up for it. If you are kind of thin and you're thinking you'd like to go to a FatCon, you have a couple months to beef up, and get yourself ready to go. But there's three women, Donnell Jademan, Adrian Bay, and Kenita Harris. They want you to know there are a ton of fat people in Philly. I don't know if that's supposed to be a pun to say that there's a ton of fat people. If there's a lot of fat people, I do believe that the weight would equate to more than a ton. I wonder if they're doing something like a FatCon, if they have to keep the festivities like on the first floor of the building, right? I mean, is it safe even for the structural integrity of the building itself to make it that top heavy? Like, you don't want to go to the top floor with all the obese people, right? You want to keep them on the bottom to make sure the building maintains its foundation. But anyway, there are a ton of fat people in Philly who are perfectly fine with who they are. These three women behind the Philly's first of its kind Fat Focus Convention are bringing more than buzzwords like body positivity and body neutrality to Temple University in October. They want everyone to celebrate being unapologetically themselves. First and foremost, I'm going to agree with all that. Our society, it is a shame, right? It really is. Like, there's so much emphasis placed on body image, and I talk about this sometimes myself. I've gone up and down in weight a couple times in my life, and multiple times, and just took time for me to kind of figure out what works for my body to keep it in a space that I feel comfortable with. We shouldn't put people down who are, whatever, overweight or whatever they have going on. It's just obviously the commercialism and the over sexualized of our mainstream, kind of like, belittles people that don't have a certain body type. So I can totally understand a community, of people who are overweight, who want to be able to come together and, enjoy. But, again, at the same time, though, I mean, it's not very healthy. I wonder what they have. I'm already thinking, like, what do they have there to eat? It's got to be a buffet, right? You're not going to have a FatCon convention and just have, like, a sit-down dinner, right? There's got to be, you can't just expect everyone's going to have one plate. I mean, you got to have like a trough, a whole like section of troughs set up all the way across. So I don't know. Maybe they'll even, like, how the horses, they tie the bags to the horses' faces. They might even have something like that. Like maybe they sell things like that at the FatCon. Like you can get apparatus so that you don't have to get up and actually eat. You can strap a bag to your face and just, walk around all day. But the truth is, I'll say this also, to be kind, that, you don't have to eat like a total pig, all day long to be overweight. If you're eating all the wrong foods, like, just your whole diet every day is like McDonald's for breakfast and a bag of Doritos as a snack. And, and then like, for lunch, it's some pizza. And then you have like a soft pretzel or something for a snack in the afternoon, and then at night it's, back to some fried chicken, or something like that. So, you can easily get fat just from eating shit. It doesn't mean you have to be just gorging all day long. So let's make that clear, because I don't want all the overweight people out there to think that we just think they eat all day long. It's basically they're just eating all the wrong stuff, right? Okay, so the phrase body positivity has been bogged down with relating to body image. That's what these people are saying. What people in larger bodies need is to step away from constantly talking about body image, because they can be very triggering for folks who have disabilities, chronic illnesses, and have been dieting on and off their lives and developed eating disorders because of it. I will say this. I agree with this part here as far as just talking about like disabilities, chronic illnesses and such. I understand how things like that can keep people. I've met people who are, kind of overweight, and I see they try to go for a walk or exercise, and they just always say, oh, I got this, my hip, or this, my knee, and I can't really move, and do. And, but again, we have to mitigate, right? And also on top of it, if we were eating healthy and, taking care of ourselves overall, a lot of these chronic illnesses, would dissipate on their own. So it's all just kind of plays in. I mean, you have chronic illness and you have disabilities. I'm sure part of it is to the lifestyle that created you to be heavier in the first place. And this is not like, again, I'm not slighting against the overweight people. Okay. So let's just make that clear that we're not attacking fat people. I just basically think the idea of holding a convention to celebrate something like this is like beyond belief. But honestly, is it any crazier than anything else that they're doing out there? I mean, like, compared to like the trans movement and the stuff they're trying to do with that stuff, with the men playing in women's sports and everything. Anyway, it's so crazy. But anyway, FatCon aims to be a judgment-free event focused on creating a community for fat people by fat people, recognizing these who are often overlooked because of their size. That's what they're saying. The idea is to help others navigate this fat-phobic world and society in a different way, and provide clothing for people who need it, no matter how your body may look. So they want to make sure that we're fat phobic, is what they're saying. People are fat phobic. I don't get it. I don't think it's fat phobic. Again, I definitely understand the media perception, creating with the body images through Hollywood and all that stuff. It's really created, and I understand why people might have eating disorders, right? Because if they don't think they look a certain way, even people who are relatively healthy or thin, still might not fit the parameters of the Hollywood or celebrity image, with the ripped out abs, or the perfect figure if you're the girl, and, all that kind of thing. So, I understand why people would get upset, and, it could lead to depression. It could lead to people becoming heavier because they feel, just let's just give up on it, right? Well, the 3-part convention was a dream that came about after the second annual Philadelphia Plus Swap. They did a Plus Swap, which was for for clothing for large-sized people, and they held a little event for that, which led them to talk and decide they wanted to throw a bigger, of course, right? A bigger, and everybody got bigger, throw a bigger weekend-long event to bring people together to celebrate fat bodies. They are planning, the planning began back in November, blah, 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 and this is coming up in October. So let's see. They say here's what to expect. Well, first of all, the organizers invite fat Philadelphians to come for a good time and connect with other people that look like you, think like you, feel like you, and understand you. Yes, it's like, all the people that they understand each other. It's like, how many times a day do you shit your pants? It's like, well, yeah, I shit my pants a lot because I'm eating all this stuff. I got some diarrhea. I can't always make it to the toilet because it's a lot of work to get up out of the chair because I'm fat. But the most exercise they get is going back to the kitchen for another bag of Doritos or maybe some Oreos. I always talk about Doritos and Oreos because they're popular and they're total poison. But here's what to expect. From 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. at Temple Howard Giddis Student Center on Saturday, October 28th, you can attend discussions with keynote speakers. There'll be a fat sex therapist will be there, and a featured talk with Joy Cox, author of Fat Girls in Black Bodies. Programming includes 3 panels discussing fashion, social media, influencing, and how to navigate fat phobia. I don't even understand, what are they talking about? See, this is what I'm talking about, the weakness of our society. How do we navigate fat phobia? What kind of world are we living in where, it's always us against somebody nobody's fat phobic, man. It's just you have when people say stuff like that, it's what really gets me. It's like, you have the idea, you have the problem, right? You are making the choice to keep your body in this condition. I don't care what anybody says. You're making the choice to keep your body in that condition because it can change. I'm telling you 188.25% that your body can change. It doesn't have to be, it's not your genetics. It's not your this. It's not your that. Oh, I got blood sugar this, or I got blood sugar that, or I got this. It's all nonsense, okay? You have total control and power over your body. You control your mind, you control your heart, you control your body. It's really, and then you say fat phobic. Why? Because somebody wants a Snicker once in a while. I mean, yeah, I'm sorry. Did I say Snicker like a Snickers bar? I didn't mean to get anybody excited out there. I don't have any Snickers. Hey-o. So, but anyway, let's continue on here with what did I say here? Attendees can join fat-friendly fitness classes and shop an open market with up to 40 vendors. What do they got there? They got a plus-size thrift store, a vintage boutique. They got jewelry, a plus-size jewelry shop. I guess, you don't really need a plus-size jewelry shop. I guess, just get 2. You would just take a necklace and wear that as a bracelet, right? You really don't need a... Anyway, let's see here. What else they got? Plus-size body jewelry. Yeah, I said the jewelry. Let's see, FatCon Halloween costume party. Oh, there'll be a costume party too, I guess, because it's going to be during Halloween time, so it's October 29th. So there'll be a DJ. There'll be some burlesque performances. Why they got to do that too? They got to bring out the burlesque. I guess they might as well just bring. Will they have transgender fat people there too to do all that kind of stuff that they do? They might as well just bring it, mush all these things together. But that'll be on October 29th. Folks can score plus size clothing items at the pawn shop. Shop event from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. and they got all this stuff, and it says it's accessible to everyone. I thought it said van accessible, but organizers picked to ensure they picked this particular area because it's accessible to everyone. So listen, ladies and gentlemen, that's really what I wanted to share with you today. The FatCon going on in Philly, Temple University. If you're into that, you can get out there and check it out. Unfortunately, honestly, I'll tell you what, it's a great business opportunity. If you own a food truck or something, right? I mean, this is the time. You want to line your food trucks right up around Temple, all the way around there. It's like a gold mine that day. But I'm not making fun of fat people. I'm sorry. I know I am, but I'm not really. I just really believe in personal power, and I believe to hold an event like this, it just shows the state of consciousness of our society. Like, I apologize, and I know this will rub people the wrong way, but it's just the way I think. I look at it as weakness. It's weakness. Instead of stepping up and taking care of yourself and making your body healthy and better, instead you want to have a FatCon where everybody can get together and wallow in each other's misery of how unhappy they are, with being fat. Let's be real. Like, they say fat phobic, like fat phobic what? Like, who wants to be fat? No, nobody says, I wish I was really obese and couldn't breathe and can't get out of my chair and, need 2 plane seats and all that. I mean, I'm not even making fun of them. I'm just like, your body's not meant to be that size. It's not designed for that. It's only happening because of the programming of our society. That's why I'm really bringing this up today, because that's what I always kind of talk about, is that we have to break free of the programming of the society, which is designed to create these exact type of situations. The society has been creating obese people, between the pharmaceuticals, the obviously the processed foods. I mean, just, the stress in people's lives, the day-to-day activities that you have to do to get by, where you don't have time to exercise or get proper sleep or meditate or do anything, right? So, and, you have the power. I've seen people like really huge people that have lost like hundreds of pounds, and really look great. And, matter of fact, there's a friend of mine on Facebook, this woman that she helps people, with nutrition and such. And she's always posting pictures of people that she's worked with that were really, really heavy. And now they're they're thin, and, they see the difference in how healthy they look and happy they look. And, I'm making fun a little bit. Of course I am, because the whole thing is just ridiculous. And again, I think it comes from a space of, not empowering yourself, instead of, let's just give in to this and, call everybody fat phobic, and we'll create our own little fat group and, have a conference so we can talk about how mean people are because they say we're fat. But, the truth is, like, come on, let's be real with yourself. If you're somebody out there who's like really, really, really overweight, I apologize. I don't mean to make fun, but I'm not making fun, but let's be real about it. Do you really want to be that way? Are you really happy? Are you telling me you don't want to look in the mirror and look at yourself and feel good? And aside from just even the looks, I mean, because I understand about the body image, but aside from just the looks, don't you just want to feel good? I mean, like, don't you want to feel healthy? Don't you want to wake up in the morning and feel vibrant and healthy and, ready to take on the day and have the energy and have the physical capacity to, do things instead of just, I don't know, sitting in a chair and eating a bucket of KFC. That's just how I feel about it. And the fact that they are actually having something like this, I mean, it doesn't surprise me because, it's just the way of our world. It's not about personal responsibility. It's not about, taking action. It's not about bettering yourself. It's about, hey, listen, we're suffering and, let's just, again, wallow in the pool of lard and, and just like, cry with each other, like, that we're overweight and we can't do anything. It's like, I remember that episode of South Park when Cartman goes to the fat camp and then he's like selling, the candy and stuff to the kids and they're not losing weight. And the one kid starts crying. He's like, I just can't resist. I can't. And Cartman's like, yeah, I know. Here, that'll be $2 for the donut, but it is what our world is like, it's, no one wants it. And then like every commercial and stuff they put on TV, Dunkin' Donuts, I mean, every fast Subway, Taco Bell, every possible shit food thing they can give you, they're just Chips Ahoy, whatever. They're just commercials and just pumping it at you. And then like you wonder why you have such a hard time getting away from it, right? Again, I don't want to blame, I'm making fun. I am making fun of it because that's just my personality, but I don't mean any disrespect. I really, really don't, because I definitely think we've been programmed as a society. Like I myself, like, have again, like if I said it earlier in the beginning, I've been heavier and lost weight, got heavier and lost weight. I had to work and find what worked for my body to keep myself at a space where I feel, happy with myself. Like, would I like to be totally chiseled out and rah, rah, rah? Yeah. I mean, I guess that would be great, but what level do you want to put in for, what your life is each day, but the most important thing is really just to be healthy, right? Just to be able to be functional, to not have to worry about going to the doctor and get medications every 20 minutes. So, I mean, it's more about that, it's not about like how sexy you are. And everybody wants to always, go on these diets to try to, look hot and all that kind of thing. And that's the side effect. Like, you just live healthy, excuse me, I apologize, and just take care of yourself, in a general way. And, the after effect will be that you won't be carrying all that weight, because you can't carry all that weight if you're physically active, you're emotionally sound, you're getting proper sleep, you're drinking a lot of water, you're eating healthy foods. It just can't happen. It's just not physically possible. So, for people out there who believe that, no, there's nothing they can do, it's their genetics, I'm just going to be fat. I mean, I apologize to you, but, for sounding harsh, but you're wrong. You're wrong, and you're making excuses, and you're not taking personal responsibility. And again, it's not an attack, because I know we're programmed by our society and we're misguided, and I totally get that. And that's why we're here on Operation Status Quo, to remind people of the power that they have within themselves to make the choices they want to make in their lives, so they can live the happiest, most abundant way they can. Now, if somebody wants to be, a tubbo and live that way, I mean, I guess that's their business, whatever. Everybody has their life path and whatever the case may be. But, don't come out here with FatCon and say, we got to do FatCon because, because of fat phobia. I mean, come on, man, fat phobia. What are you talking about? Anybody will make an excuse for anything to negate the actual need for their own personal responsibility to get something done. So, it's up to you. It's up to you to take care of yourself. FatCon. I mean, honestly, it just blows my mind, but what can we expect in today's world? That's just the way it goes, right? So anyway, if you are interested in FatCon, again, it's in Philadelphia in October. So, again, if you got a few extra pounds and you don't feel too good about yourself and you want to wallow with others, you can head over to that. And if you're looking to maybe engage in that activity and you want to, start beefing up now, hit the buffets, do what you got to do, go get yourself, go over to Costco. You can get like a huge bag of Doritos and chips there, and you could just go at it. I'm sure by October you can fit the bill to go to FatCon. But no, seriously, please don't do that to yourself, people. Take care of yourselves. And if you're out there, I wonder if they should do. No, seriously, I'm going to leave it at this, because I'm sorry I'm having fun with this a little bit, because it just blows my mind. But what if they got like a whole bunch of skinny people like to go to FatCon and like crash the party, right? Because who's going to catch them, right? Because they can run around and taunt the fat people, but the fat people aren't going to be able to catch them, because they'll either be, well, they'll be too fat. They can't run, they can't move. You know what I'm saying? What are they going to do? That might be fun. Maybe we should organize that. Maybe Operation Status Quo should stop in live at FatCon. Hey-o. It's like, what do they come up with in this world? It's so over the top. All right, I love you guys out there. I really, really do. I love you. And even if you're a fatty, I love you too. And, because listen, I was made fun of. I was called fat a lot when I was younger. I really was. I mean, I was, I've lost, the most I lost at one point was like 50 pounds. So I'm just trying to say, like, I'm not just saying this like no problem, right? I mean, I've gone through my struggles too. And I'm just saying you have the power, and empower yourself, and stop with this nonsense, FatCon, FatCon, just to celebrate being fat instead of doing something about it. Nobody wants. I'm going to leave it at this. This is my last thing. Tell me if you get this far in the video. If you are overweight that way, are you happy really? I mean, do you really say that fat is beautiful? We should celebrate this. I mean, come on. Human nature. Nobody wants to be that way. Everybody wants to feel vibrant and look good and feel good about themselves. So take it. You can do it. You don't have to go to FatCon. You know what they should do? They should go to FatCon and everybody should do, like, they should go to FatCon. Everybody does like an enema or something, like, some sort of detox cleanse, at FatCon. They should make it like a week, a whole week of where you just go in there and you're just like, doing vegetable juices and vitamin B12 IVs and stuff like that. And see, if by the time they come out of FatCon, they won't be fat anymore, right? Maybe that'd be a better way of doing it. Maybe having that kind of conference to teach people how to, instead of celebrating the beauty of being fat, why don't we like have a conference where we teach people how to take care of themselves, so they're not a burden on the system, sitting with medications all day long, and they can't drive themselves anywhere, can't do anything, somebody's got to wipe their ass and everything else, right? All right, I'm sorry, I'm going to stop now because I'm going down a bad path, and I don't want to be rude, because I really do love people out there. there, but it just blows my mind that we want to celebrate this type of stuff in our society instead of empowering ourselves to be our best selves. And that's what we do here on Operation Status Quo. So I want to empower you to be your best you, and you can do it. And I'm happy to help you. I'll tell you what, if you're overweight, I mean, I've worked on it myself a lot. I've got plenty of tips, and not even tricks, just like, tips of how to, like, navigate your life into a way. And you don't have to do everything all at once. It's little by little. You make little changes here, little changes there, and before you know it, all the pieces add up together to create a lifestyle that is abundant and healthy. I don't ever feel like I'm giving up anything. I eat good foods every day. I like to cook for myself. Once in a while, I'll go out and treat myself and have something that's a little bit junk. If I go to a restaurant, maybe I'll get a burger and some fries, every once in a while, but it's not like a daily thing of like eating shit, right? You got to give yourself good stuff. Your body needs nutrition, like your car. You're not going to dump sand in the gas tank or dump bleach in where the oil goes, right? I mean, the car's not going to run. So it's the same type of thing. We have to get that mindset of just forget about all the time thinking, that you just go through your day without having to do anything and just whatever just plops in your head. Today I eat this, or today I do that, or, there has to be consistency. You have to, you're a steward of not just the earth, but your body. You know what I mean? You have a responsibility. We all have responsibilities to care for ourselves and be our best, so that we as a society can, all be our best, right? Because, you're only as strong as your weakest link. Is that what they say? I think that's what they say. You're only as strong as your weakest link. So we got a lot of weak links out there in multiple capacities in this world, and that's what we're moving away from. That's what I think anyway. But hey, listen, ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank you so much for your time to be with me here today on Operation Status Quo. Please, if you haven't done so already, I would really appreciate for you to like, subscribe, share, send this out to your family, your friends, those you love, and those you despise as well. Send it out to a few fat people, and let me know what they think. What else? That's it. I love you, each and every one of you, individually as well as a group. God bless. Until tomorrow, Operation Status Quo disengaged.